Thank you, Ana Luisa, for supporting this channel and sponsoring today's video. Ana Luisa is a sustainable jewelry brand from Brooklyn, New York, which was founded to bring transparency to the jewelry industry. I have been an ambassador of Ana Luisa's jewelry for over a year and love how beautiful their pieces are while being kind to Mama Earth. Ana Luisa's small batch designs are made using recycled materials when possible. They are 100% carbon neutral and are fully transparent about their business practices always. My latest favorite piece from Ana Luisa is my Esme Slim necklace made with 100% recycled silver plated with 100% recycled gold. Make sure to check out the first clickable link in this video's description box to get a sweet discount. Ana Luisa has beautiful and sustainable pieces starting at $39, ranging to higher-end pieces. Thanks again, Ana Luisa, for sponsoring this channel and having me as a brand ambassador. Lately, I've been paying attention to hear what is calling me. Am I showing up and making space for what makes me feel alive, what makes me feel at home? Am I trusting what is calling me very deeply? Am I trusting that very loud intuitive feeling within me? Over a year ago, when the whole world went into lockdown, I felt an urgency to show up and be of service to others more than ever. I felt this was the time when I really needed to share my medicine with others. And if I was able to share a painting class, my thoughts, or just make some space for one person to come back to their breath and their love for being alive, then I'd show up every day to make this possible. So for more than a year, I focused on posting one video a week, making online courses and share workshops as much as I could. And within the last few months, I felt the urgency to go inwards and start refilling my well before I keep sharing. Is my life a living prayer towards spirit, or am I running away from being my true self unapologetically? I am calling in more rest, calm, love, nature, and nourishment. I am ready to take vacations for the first time in 8 years. Every time I've traveled back home in these last 8 years, I'd always managed to make a workshop or two, film a video, or make a mural during that time. Every time I go somewhere, I find the opportunity to make a project out of it, just like I took 5 days in bed back in 2018 and I did a project out of it. So it wasn't truly time off. And I've been wondering if this comes from a memory of being in survival mode or from a need to work in every opportunity I had. Within the last few years, I've started to realize that self-care is non-negotiable for me. This is where I get a lot of inspiration from, and whenever I feel nourished, I'm able to be of service and show up to inspire others. This is how I want to spend more of my time. In nature, painting without a plan, healing everything, being inside a body of water, being grateful by the simple things of being alive. More than ever, I'm seeing that nature is the true luxury of being alive in this planet, and I want to make space not only in my schedule, but also in my mind and my heart to honor this, to honor Mama Earth. I've realized that within the last few years, a part of me has learned to always be in work mode. This part of me is always telling me how I could be doing more. If I'm in nature, it focuses on what a beautiful video I could be filming here, or how I could be doing a new painting here. This is becoming a tricky space, so I feel in my whole body how the time to take a break from sharing is coming. So for the next few months, I've decided not to have deadlines. For a couple of months, I won't be working on any new commission paintings, which means I won't have creativity deadlines. For a couple of months, I won't be working on any sponsored content, which means I won't have deadlines to create and edit videos. And the reason why I feel this is so important is not because I don't want to create anything within the next few months. It's because I want to go deep in my inner worlds, really focus on painting for my own projects, really tap into my inner world and see what wants to come through. Like the fungi painting. I'm really getting to know my microscope so I can start really developing this dream of mine even further. I want to go hiking. I want to go to the rivers and the waterfalls without hearing that voice inside of me which wants me to capture all these moments. I want to be able to spend time in nature and fully enjoy being there. Not feeling guilty of not creating something while being there. Don't get me wrong, I love sharing, I love creating, and I feel extremely lucky and honored to be able to do this for a living. What I am trying to say is that my well feels a little unnourished, and I feel this is the time to start replenishing my well so I can come back with more energy. I want to be able to create from a place where my cup feels full so I can inspire you with new things, new amazing things. I have also been dealing with this autoimmune disease for years, and even though I thought it was long gone, it seems to be present, so I want to be able to rest and heal. No deadlines, no alarm clocks. I feel nervous about this because I am a recovering workaholic who loves her job so much the line between work and play can get blurry. but I feel it in my whole body that I should take a break and rest. This will be my first vacation in 8 years. I am starting to understand more than ever that rest and nourishment are essential parts of work as well. I am ready to rest, to create in calmness, to go slower, to sleep as much as I need to go out to nature without my camera, to spend hours looking through the microscope, to take naps, to cook, to share it with my loved ones, to be. So today's video is an invitation for me and for you to ask ourselves, how are we showing up for our own needs right now? How are we nourishing ourselves? And how will this help us be of service to others tomorrow? I just received this handmade beautiful ceramic that I ordered from Alicia, who is a ceramist from Hawaii. And I wanted to share this with you because it has a lot to do with me wanting and really feeling called to taking a break. So Alicia makes this amazing yoni ceramics, and I got mine today, and I ordered one of them as an altar piece. She makes them as altar pieces and also pieces to pray for. And the reason why I'm getting these pieces for my altar is I have a few different altars. I have one that is for myself, and my body and my healing, and I've shared this a little bit before, but I wanted to dive more into it, and that is that I have had candida in the past, and I'm currently experiencing candida once again. And I know that a lot of folks out there, especially women, know or have had candida in the past, and this is pretty much a autoimmune disease, or it can develop into an autoimmune disease within the years. And candida has been present in my family, in my lineage, and it can come in very different ways. But what it is pretty much our gut, our microbiome has both alkaline and acid bacteria, and when there is an overgrowth of either, our microbiome comes out of balance. And candida is pretty much a yeast overgrowth. Yeast is a fungi, and if our body is growing too much candida, then we are growing too much of the acid bacteria in our bodies. And that's as far as I'm going to go with the scientific aspect of it. And anyhow, candida can be stored in different parts of our body. Some people have it in their vaginas, in their genitals, in their throats, in their stomach, and it manifests itself in different ways. Some people get nail fungus, some other people get it as tush in their mouth, some others get it as skin fungi, and there's just a lot of different reactions. I have had candida for a very long time. My family has had it for years. Some members in my family still have it as well, and for each of us it manifests in a different way. And candida has a lot to do with what we intake, both in our foods as well as in our energetic consumptions, how we're treating ourselves, how we're treating our bodies, how much we're stressing, how much cortisol we're letting in. And this is a very long story. I could actually just make a whole video on it, and I might at some point. But what I really wanted to touch base on today is that in 2016, I decided to go into the Candida diet because I felt my body was feeling very out of balance and I was getting very hard stomach aches. And while I decided to embark in the Candida diet, I didn't just do it researching online on how to do it, but I also consulted with doctors, which I believe is very important. And I also worked with a vegetalista from the jungle in Peru. She is my dad's doctor. He's had pre-cirrhosis in the past, and the way that she works is something that really aligns with my way of thinking. I got some blood tests done, then she got the blood tests and then worked on an herbal mix that I should start drinking based on my blood tests. And I started intaking these herbs as well. I changed my diet, and I also, while following the Candida diet, realized that this was not only a journey in towards changing the way that I eat, but my energetic and emotional habits as well. And that's when I started doing yoga for the first time, and yoga has changed my life forever. I do yoga every day now, and it also made me dive deeper into my own relationship with how much I'm resting and how much space I'm giving to just chill and not work. So in 2016, I actually had to stop eating vegan. I was eating vegan for 4 or 5 years up until that point, but it is for my type of body and I have very low blood pressure, so it's very difficult, almost impossible for me to do the Candida diet vegan version. So I started incorporating fish and eggs into my diet, and that's a diet that I've kept up until today. And now in 2021, I am going to be diving into not only the diet, but also the resting aspect itself more. And that's one of the main reasons why I also wanted to take these few months off and rest. And resting is such a journey that I'm still exploring and still learning. And I know that I've dismantled a lot of my own beliefs about the importance of rest. I used to believe that resting was a sign of weakness. I used to think that resting meant that I wasn't achieving my fullest potential. And what I've learned within this last few years is that resting is actually a tool and is a necessary part of not only self-love, but also of feeling nourished and really being healthy. And at the same time, rest has become such an important piece of my career, in the sense that if I'm not nourished, if I'm not healthy, if I'm not well rested, body, mind, and soul, then I'm not going to be able to really show up and do all my work. So I think it's so important that I see how we are shifting as a society in our relationship towards resting, and really letting go of these beliefs that resting is for weak. And I still have a lot of learning to do around that topic, and that's also one of the main reasons why I'm taking a little time for myself. And this is why, going back to the Candida diet, this yoni altar piece is so important for me. And I've added a few different herbs and flowers to these ceramic yoni. I have some damiana and calendula, rose, hibiscus, and flor blanca in the ceramic yoni that I will be keeping in my altar, because these are some of the herbs that I'm working with. And I'm very excited to just give this time to myself and to, wake up without an alarm. And if I want to just wake up and stay in bed with a book, I want to do that, because I have not taken vacations in 8 years. I've come to realize that yes, even though my personal journey has taken me to grow so much, and give myself so much space, both in like my humanness and my spirituality and all of it, but I also have realized that, nowadays if I go to nature, there's this little voice in my head that is like, Caro, you should be filming this. This is such a beautiful filming opportunity. And there's always this constant voice of, you should be either filming this or capturing this moment or painting this moment, or all these like work things. So I don't know, that's not feeling right. It's not settling good in my body, and there's something in my gut and in my body telling me that it's time to rest so I can really fill my well again. I read The Artist Way a few years back, and if you've read The Artist Way, Julia touches base on how sometimes we're only taking out of the well, then we will reach the point when the well doesn't have anything else to offer. And even though I consider that I am always filling up my well with all my rituals and going back to nature and giving gratitude and all these things, I also I don't know, I just feel that I need to really focus in nourishing this well again. And yeah, I feel very excited to take this time off so I can really come back fully present and having so many new gifts to share with you all. I will keep my Patreon open for these upcoming months. I'm just like not taking any new, like video partnerships or like new commission pieces, commission artwork. I will be stepping back from social media, and I feel it's just going to be such a beautiful, nourishing time. And I am not saying I won't be in social media for 2 months, because maybe something comes through and there's something beautiful that I really want to share. So I want to not put rules into what will happen in the next few months. I just want to let it be like free flowing, and just know that I don't have any deadlines to meet for the first time in 8 years, which there's a part of me that really feels guilty for taking time off. Like I should be better and I should be able to manage it all at the same time. But you know what? I think I really want to honor the fact that this is the first break in 8 years, and I deserve it because I feel so. So, so that's a little bit about Candida and the Yoni Peace Altar and breaks. And I also wanted to touch base on the fact that I've actually never shared a lot about my eating habits, because I think that it's important to know that I am just a visual artist that happens to have a YouTube channel that doesn't give me any credentials on being able to give advice to other people about how they should or shouldn't eat. So I feel that's something that it's always so important for me. I am not a nutritionist. I haven't studied anything related to eating habits and nourishment and diets or any of those topics. So I am not in the position to give any advice whatsoever on those topics. I love sharing about how plants and fungi can be medicine, but I also try to be very cautious about the fact that they can also be damaging if we mix the wrong herbs together, if we're mixing them with SSRIs, if we are, depending on our blood type, maybe, of course, there's a ton of fungi that are dangerous and that are poisonous and so many other things. So I hope that I am coming out very clear on the fact that even though I drink elixirs and work with plants and with fungi, I believe it's so important to know that these are not FDA approved and that I am not a doctor. I'm just here sharing my own experience, and this is in no way advice for anyone's eating habits, because we all have a very different body, and what serves me might not serve other people. So all of that being said, yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about that, and I wanted to thank you for being here on today's video. And I also wanted to thank once again Ana Luisa for supporting this channel, for supporting my vision, my life, my artwork. It is such a treat to be a brand ambassador and to get to know the brand on a deeper level. So thank you so much, Ana Luisa. If you are interested in buying any of their jewelry, you can do so by going to the video's description link, and also you'll get a sweet discount. And I would just love to hear what are some of your current relationships with resting, with working, and with all of those things in between, with how are you nourishing your own body at this time. And I just hope that this video finds you well in a very beautiful space. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your time with me, for opening your hearts to hearing my own stories. And you are welcome to subscribe to this channel, to my Patreon that I will keep open this upcoming months, to my social medias. And yeah, I will see you once I get back from my little rest time. And once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope this video finds you well and inspired you a little. Bye. I will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.